What is going on, guys? My name is Bucky Roberts and welcome to your very first tutorial in Adobe Photoshop. Now, in this tutorial series, what I'm going to do is I'm going to start you guys from the very basics of Photoshop, assuming that you guys have never even opened Photoshop before. So I'm going to be taking you from very beginner, just getting, showing you the interface, the very basic tools, to some very advanced Photoshop techniques. So these tutorial series are pretty much for everyone. So sit back, relax, grab a hot pocket, and crack your knuckles and enjoy. Now, if you're watching this video because you heard of Photoshop before, but you aren't really sure what it is, and you just wanted to see a quick example, let me go ahead and tell you guys what Photoshop is. Even though I know a bunch of you guys already probably know what it is, and that's a program that you use to edit photos and images digitally. Now, you can use it to edit photos that you took with a digital camera, or you can also, create your own graphics. For example, if you want to make a logo for your company, you can also use Photoshop to create new graphics, images, cartoons as well. Now, it's probably most well known for, altering photos for like models and stuff, making, fat people like myself look skinny, or you can also use it to make skinny people look fat if you want. That'd be kind of weird. But anyways, I also already assume that I'm guessing you guys have it installed on your computer already. Um, it's really easy. Just pop in the disk, press next, next, next 1,000 times. It's installed. I didn't want to do a tutorial of that because if you're using this program, you guys probably know how to install stuff. So install it, open it up, and the first thing I want to do before I just open a photo and start editing it and getting real involved is I want to go over the interface real quick because once you open Photoshop, you see all these menus and buttons and tools on the left hand side and all these tabs, and it's kind of overwhelming at first. So, in the first couple tutorials, I just want to show you guys how to navigate the interface or the layout, and that's what I'm going to do in this tutorial. So, first of all, let's go ahead and take a look at the right hand side, and you see that the interface is made up of a bunch of different panels, or I often call them tabs. This swatches tab, for example, the color tab, but technically they're called panels, so I'll try to call them panels from here on out. Now, Photoshop pretty much organizes a bunch of similar actions or a bunch of similar properties or settings in tabs. For example, the color tab is where you work with all your color. You have different styles under the styles tab, all your layers. So they basically grouped a bunch of things together for you because there's like literally about 10 trillion, and of course not literally, but there's a ton of things in Photoshop, and that's just how they organize things in panels or tabs. So first of all, I want to teach you guys how to open and close panels. Now, right now we see that there's a swatches, color, adjustment, styles, layers, channels, and paths panel open. Now, Photoshop actually has a lot more panels than this, and if you ever want to open one, or if I'm talking about a panel and you guys don't see it, just go to this window menu, and the options with the checkbox are the panels that are open. And for example, this histogram, history, info, see how they don't have a check next to it? That means that the panel is not open. So if, I say open your color tab or color panel, just go ahead and make sure it has a checkbox and you're good to go. So after that, I want to show you guys how to collapse and expand these. So if you have a bunch of different panels open, things can get cluttered really quick. As you can see, this looks pretty cluttered already and we didn't even open any new ones. So in order to collapse these, go ahead and double click the name of the panel. And whenever you do that, you see how it collapses. Now swatches and color panel is now collapsed. So we can actually collapse them all if we just double click and double click, and it cleans everything up. So let's say we only wanted to work with, maybe the swatches panel. We just go ahead and click that once and it would expand again. But anyways, that's how you collapse and expand panels by double clicking the name of them. Pretty sweet, huh? Now another thing I want to mention is that panels are in groups. So right now, this swatches and color panel, they're two different panels, but they're in the same group, the same window kind of. So what you can do is Adobe Photoshop gave you the ability to customize your groups. So say that you work with the swatches and color panels a lot, so you don't want to keep clicking from tab to tab back and forth. It can get kind of annoying. You want to put those in different groups. So you can take the color panel, and if you actually go ahead and drag it, you can drop it into a whole nother group. So you can either drop it right here to make its own group, or if you want to put it in this group right here with adjustments and styles, you can go ahead and drag it and drop it in there. So again, you can make a panel its own group or group it with other panels as well. Again, this is all personal preference. Whatever the heck you want to do, that's up to you. Now, if you want to get super crazy, you can actually have this well, I guess we might as well work with the color panel. So you can actually drag this and drop it right in this gray area, and then it's going to turn into its own floating group. So this pretty much gives you the feel of, like Microsoft Windows where the windows are floating around. But I usually like to have them in tabbed groups just like that. But if you want to get crazy, have that little window feel, have it float around, go ahead. Now, the last couple things I want to talk about, because I know you guys are probably falling asleep from this freaking tutorial already, but, we didn't, turn any oranges in the robots or anything cool with images yet. But a couple more things about the interface is you can also collapse and expand entire panel sets. Now, what's a panel set? Well, the panel set is pretty much this column of panels right here. So if you are working on a big image and you want to hide this entire set, then go ahead and click this little double arrow right there, and it's going to collapse this entire column, give you some more space to work on your image. Now, again, there's actually two sets right here in case you didn't notice. So let's go ahead and expand both of these sets, one right there and one right there. So again, through those things, you pretty much know now how to do everything as far as customizing your panels, getting your layout exactly how you want it to. Now, the last thing I want to talk about panels, and guys, I promise you guys, this is the last thing I'm going to say about panels, and then I'll go on to something a little bit more interesting in the next video. But you guys are like, okay, that's how you move panels around and, expand them, collapse them, make them float like a window. But what if I just want to get rid of a panel completely? Well, what you can do, the easiest way is just this. Say you want to get rid of this styles panel because you're like, I don't even know what styles is. I never use it. I just want to get rid of it. What you can do is you can either right click it and hit close, or every group has a little drop down menu right here. And this is just a menu to give you more options. For example, this swatches one. If you just go ahead and choose that little menu, it's going to give you more options about the swatches panel. Obviously, like any menu would do in any program. So, now that you are experts on Photoshop panels, we can move on to some more interesting topics, something more useful and exciting. But for this tutorial, I just want to say thank you guys for watching, and if you have any questions at all, then you can ask me on my Twitter, Google+, or on my forum, and I'll put a link below in the description, or you can, just leave a YouTube comment, but whatever. So thank you guys for watching, don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video.